Tommy throw it up, baby. It's Tommy too smooth. Make noise, baby. It's Tommy too smooth. Give it up, baby. It's Tommy too smooth. Make noise, baby. Tommy too smooth. In the building, in the building. It's Tommy too smooth. Too smooth. In the building.
It's Officer Jimmy Joe Jack Johnson, the redneck son bitch officer, state trooper, crossing guard, slap boxing champion. Law. I'm just keeping it real. My name is Louis Stick 'em Up Luciano, the brown skin that I tie. And on my face, I'm wearing a pair of rose-colored, gold-framed, slow-molasses glasses. Whoa, get the f*** out of here!
My name James Drunk Patterson. My friends call me Drunk. Right away, it's pronounced D. Are you Unc? I'm from Fifth and Alcoholic Alleyway. My name is Feliciano Rosa Fernandez.
Good evening, and welcome to the Doris Hall James Indie Show. This evening, our guest is Tommy Too Smoov. Hi, Tommy.
Hey,
how are
what's
you?
up? Loving life. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
What good clippings they were, and funny.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
You enjoy what you do, right?
Yeah, I love what I do. It's funny seeing me up there, but you know, it's.
Yeah. How did you
love
get
what I
into comedy?
My brother told me I was funny, and my brother was the funniest dude in school.
Okay.
And he told me I was funny. Him telling me I was funny was like Eddie Murphy telling you you're funny.
Well, you used to walk around cracking jokes and making jokes and stuff?
No, I only did it for him. Just for him. You know, in the beginning. And I used to copy off from, you know, the grown-ups. You know, like you saw.
Imitate them.
Right.
Oh, that was
like
cold.
Drunk. The drunk guy. He's my mother's drinking buddy.
Okay.
You know, so it's like the adults around, I kind of, you know, emulated them and added my own stuff to it.
Is that how you were able to imitate like 21 or over 21 different characters?
Yeah.
How to tell us about that?
I used to do a club downtown when I first started comedy. I used to do a club downtown called Winners.
Winners.
It was on, I think, Race or Vine Street.
Okay.
And every week I would go down and I would do a different. I started off with, you know, my mom's buddy, Mr. Patterson.
Okay.
And there was one, you know, there's always one senior.
What's up?
There's always one senior comedian that everybody kind of caters to. And this guy, every week I would come down and I would do my act. And he'd say, oh, that's nothing but so-and-so. That's Mudbone. And so I'm like determined to prove him wrong and that I had talent. I would come spend all 7 days creating another character and go down and do another character. And next week he'd be like, oh, that's nothing but Mom's Maybelline. That's who that old lady character. Oh, yeah? Well, next week I'd come by and, you know, I'd be copying off the Italian that I met in South Philly.
Okay.
And he'd say, oh, that's nothing but Dice Clay. And finally, I think it was... Haseen it all, you know, my Indian character, you know, and he had no one to compare that to. So after that, it was just like, well, you know, he's got his own thing.
So did you like look at people and like study them to develop your characters?
Yeah, like I'd say 50% of my characters are people who actually exist. You know.
Okay.
Feliciano Fernandez is actually a waiter that I met in the Poconos.
Oh, okay.
And he was like this smooth guy.
He didn't know you were imitating, did he?
No, he. I mean, like I used when I was in the Poconos. I used to live in Stroudsburg, and I would cook in the, you know, in the resorts up there, and there was this Smoov guy. You know, they had a strong Latino community up there.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one guy all the women loved. I mean, he was just smooth and he could do no wrong. And it's like his clothes ironed themselves and pressed themselves. He was just smooth and like his creases were perfect. And he would come, but all he wanted was like, he wanted nothing more than a healthy, fluffy woman. Like all the women would chase him down, and like even the model women, they would chase him down. But he just wanted him a nice, pretty, fluffy woman. He had no interest in like all these little model girls that was running around like, we love you, Feliciano. So I took him home and I thought about him and where he might have come from, and you know what he may think of all day, and I kind of wrote it out. And silly me, I would put on the costume and once again do it for my brother, and he thought it was hilarious. So, you know, I would act out for him. And if he said it was funny, then it was funny.
Well, you must have enjoyed it too, because
Yeah.
that is that your passion? Is that your passion now?
It became my passion, but it started off just doing sock puppets for my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And like this guy would have one voice, and this guy would have one voice, and you know, I'd kind of act out a little play. I didn't know what I was doing. It was just entertaining my brothers.
Because we saw you at the Wyndham last Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
And that was too funny.
Yeah.
You
Thank
know,
you.
all the different characters you were portraying. That was really that was funny.
I was trying to show off.
You showed off? Well,
Yeah.
you showed off, and it was good. It was well.
Trying to do
Well,
Rena
that's the
right.
first time I met Fernandez.
Everybody loves Feliciano, you know.
Well, how do you get your shows? Do you book your own shows?
Yeah, well, you know, up until recently, I was the guy. You know, I've had, you know, groups of people and sometimes individuals to help me out, but for the most part, it's been Tommy.
Okay. Now, you're working this weekend. Is it this week, February?
Yeah.
Is it this? Can we see that clipping? That he's
What, that one?
performing? Yeah.
It's up there.
Okay. Let's
That
talk,
one right there.
Let's talk about that for a moment.
Or was it that one?
I'm trying to get this computer together. Let's talk about that for a moment.
That one.
Philly Live Radio, that's where you are now. And then we have...
Oh, this one.
Yeah, yes.
This one
Yeah.
is the one that's this weekend. That's going to be at 4th and
Right.
Lombard. That's going to be a great show. And this one right here is going to be at Punchlines. That's going to be an even better show.
Okay.
They're both going to be great shows.
And you book your own shows, right?
Well, not
So-
anymore.
not
I got
anymore.
help now.
Who's helping you?
I got the great hit lady.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was hoping you were going to say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Miss Rena Sinekin.
Rena Sinekin.
Yeah.
And she's sitting right here. She
Ta-da.
doesn't want to be seen on camera, but you're doing a great job with him. Okay.
Just came down here to make sure I do right.
Yeah, and you're doing now. you used to sing.
I was more into the rapping than I was the
rapping?
singing, but, you know, I used to produce
Okay.
a guy named Mike Genius, who's a tremendous producer. You know, I mean, he's been producing for as long as I've known him. When I was like 13 or 14, I met him. And he was my first DJ as a rapper. And
Okay.
as he developed, I developed, and
Okay.
we wound up producing together. I do some singing, you know, but
And
you
some
know,
songwriting, too?
A lot of songwriting.
Really?
And
Good
mostly
songs?
rapping. I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so. I've had a few of my own little independent record labels, and we put out a couple of songs, and you know, you learn and graduate as you go along.
Jayla J.
Lord Jesus, keep on.
Oh, that's some people who need music now.
Yeah, they may need music. I'll call you back. But I thought it was off. Excuse me.
There's old people in technology.
Yeah, I thought it was off. But you know that happens. That happens sometimes. I can't
She
get
is
it
not
off.
playing.
I hope nothing happened to her.
Here, let me talk
That's
to
my
her.
granddaughter.
No, okay. I don't
That's my granddaughter.
Okay.
Okay. But back to that, you were doing some songwriting,
Right.
right?
And you know, we had a couple of labels, and you know, we put out a couple of records, and
Okay.
you know, I used to be signed to a label as a rap artist, you know, and you know, I'm still writing music, and
Okay.
you know, writing. I got a project coming up where I'm marrying all the comedy, like everything. Mostly, I know how to do. I'm marrying it all together.
Oh, that's exciting.
Right.
Well, Gilbert and I, we should do something like that.
Yeah.
What?
Everything we know how to do, put it together.
Yeah.
Gilbert and I, we do a lot of stuff, you know?
I see how talented he is.
We do. We are.
Okay.
Rena, I'm not going to let him take all the credit. We are. Okay? Let's put it.
I know you are.
Okay.
I read
No,
up
I mean,
on you.
No, but we do like we're songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and lately we've been doing some comedy on our radio show, right? We've been doing some comedy, right?
Okay.
And he's a great producer. And you see what he's done here. You see this, right?
Yeah, that's
That's
decent.
good,
I
isn't it?
love that.
Yes.
Me being a graphics artist myself,
Uh-huh.
you know, I know what it took to put that together, and I can respect that.
Yeah, that's good work.
Thank
That's
you.
really good
Thank
work.
you.
So, now it's a question here about your family. Okay, now your brother was encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about other members of your family? Were they encouraging?
I mean, everybody played their role. Like, I grew up, you know, part of my life going through, like, you know, foster care and, you know, group homes. And then, you know, another part of my life, I found
I
I
love that.
I found my siblings, and, you know, like my big brother, Mac, Jimmy McMillan, he's
okay.
he's so funny. He was like my superhero when I was, you know, young. Like, all my brothers were like superheroes to me in some type of way. You know, Alfred, Jimmy, Tony, Jamac, they were all like, you know, examples to me. You know what I mean? And they all taught me something.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, you did well.
Thank you.
You know, and when you say foster care, then I always have a soft heart when
Right.
it comes to that. And to reunite with your brothers and sisters, you know, that was great.
Well, you know, Tony was always with me.
Okay.
My brother
Yeah.
that got me into comedy.
Okay.
We were always together.
Okay.
You know, and
Right.
he hand delivered me to comedy. He signed me up for that first little contest.
Well, you know, when you're a stand-up comedian, well, do you think a stand-up comedian should or could or do joke about anything they see, or should it just be, you know, something that, you know, because sometimes the jokes may be offensive,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, is it a curve there about the things you joke about, or you think
Well,
you should just?
You have to remember that, you know, comedy is somebody's opinion of what's funny.
Okay.
And if you can accept that this is somebody's opinion, then you can accept their comedy. Not everybody's going to agree with your opinion.
Okay.
So comedy is kind of like, I'm going to take my opinion and my thoughts, and I'm going to put them on the table. Now, whoever can enjoy what I just put on the table, please come get a piece of it.
Right.
But you know, everybody is not going to like this, what I put on the table. Sometimes it's about timing. Dave Chappelle just put out a special, and I thought it was some of the greatest work he's ever done. But when you look at the way the critics broke it down, it was like, oh, he's offensive and he's saying the wrong things.
Really?
And, oh, he's...
Yeah, and who
he's-
were the critics? Yeah.
Right, but, you know, he's... And I met some friends, you know, some friends didn't think some of his stuff was funny. And I'm like, you know, well, that's your opinion.
Some people can get downright intellectual with their comedy.
Right,
And sometimes it takes an intellectual to follow that,
right,
you know?
right.
Someone like, not Don Knotts, who was the old guy?
Carlin,
This computer's acting.
Carlin.
yeah,
George Carlin.
Yes.
Very intellectual.
Yes.
You know?
And it's not for everybody.
No.
It's not for everybody. You know, some are Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some
Yeah.
are Flip Wilson.
Right.
Some are Red Fox.
Bill Cosby.
Some are Bill Cosby.
Right.
And those are 4 different angles.
Yep.
And like I said, those were all their opinions. So out of those 4, somebody's going to appeal to you.
Right. Okay. Gilbert, I'm having problems with this computer. So,
Okay.
And see, another thing is timing of a joke.
Okay.
You see what I
What do
mean?
you know? Tell me about that.
Like, you asked me if some jokes could be offensive.
Yes.
When is it okay to tell a Prince joke? Given we just recently lost Prince. When is it okay to do a Prince joke?
Right.
Or is it ever okay to do a Prince joke? You see what I mean?
Yeah, I
So it's
understand what
about
you mean.
timing.
It's about timing.
Right.
Okay, well, I was just wondering because I used to go to comedy shows when I was in Maryland, when I lived in Maryland. And some of the jokes were okay, some were not. People really accepted whatever, and if they didn't really accept it, they would say, well, and they'll get up and maybe go to the bathroom or whatever.
Right.
So my question was, is it right or wrong? How do you go about judging or deciding what kind of audience you have sitting out there and what kind of jokes
You got to determine
would
that quick.
be appropriate? You know what I'm saying?
I'll say like this. Me, myself, let's take me,
Okay.
right? I'm a comedian, so it's hard to make me laugh. But one of my best friends is Joey Ellis, MC Breeze. I find him to be utterly hilarious.
Really?
I mean, oh my God, he cracks me up. We'll be on the phone and he'll crack me up for hours. This dude is like comedy gold,
Okay.
But, and one day I think I called him on stage and he was funny. He did the thing to the crowd, but he just was never interested in getting into it. It's just,
Yeah, 'cause
he's always calling me like, you can have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he may go on stage and get into the comedy and people may not like him, but I think he's utterly hilarious. So
Okay.
it's all in what the individual thinks. You may think he's hilarious, but he may think, oh, this guy, no.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So
Yes.
it's all about, can I beat the average with what I think is funny? And that's all it is.
Okay.
And then the equation, rest in peace, Fat Doctor, he just passed away. He's the guy that taught Martin Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
He one day at the Laugh House, he told me,
Laugh House.
the Laugh House is a legendary place for me. I've worked out there for over 20 years, so it's special to me. But we were sitting at the Laugh House, and he said to me, Tommy, the equation to comedy is every day multiplied by exaggeration. That's the equation of comedy.
Okay.
So you can take any situation, tying a shoe. And you can
Yes.
you start off regular and you exaggerate it
Yes.
as you go along and make it funny. I'm sitting on the porch and this big head boy comes up and I'm looking. Most of the weight is in his forehead, like it made him permanently look sad because his forehead was overshadowing his eyeballs. And I noticed that his shoes was untied. I'm like, oh God, please don't let this big head boy
Lean over.
to find out that his shoes are untied because he got to lean over to tie that shoe. And sure enough, he saw it the same time I did. But, he didn't fully lean that forehead forward or he would have landed on his back. But he kind of looked down and saw it. I wanted to tie his shoe for him. That's how big his forehead was. I went, don't do it. But he just stopped because he didn't want to trip, and mess the sidewalk up with that forehead. So I ran over. And before I could bend down to tie his shoe, I said, you want me to tie your shoe? He shook his head, yeah, and flipped over.
Really?
All that head flipped his whole body. See how I took something every day and it just exaggerated.
Yes.
So there's funny in everything.
Yeah.
The thing about comedians is we find the funny.
Yeah.
And it's not just the funny that we see, it's the funny that collectively we all saw, but I'm the one that's willing to say it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's about what I see, we could both look at the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm looking at my computer and it's frozen again. Okay? So I'm looking at it again. It's frozen
That's
again.
what happens when you download Frozen
yeah,
2.
And then I'm trying to say hello to these people and it's frozen and I can't say it. But I'm going to look over here and we're going to see if we can get it.
We're going to wave to
see if we're
them.
gonna get it.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. Now, Tommy, this is what I want you to do. I want
you
you to
want
say
me to
hello
do
to
it?
see some of these people. Can you see it? We can't see them all, but let's look and see.
Okay.
Okay.
So who's this? Sandy Sykes. What's up, Sandy? How you doing, Sandy? You look
Okay.
lovely on Facebook. Now I know why they call it Facebook, because your face is on the book.
Okay.
Who's this? Whittington.
Yes, that's my
Whittington.
good friend.
That's
Yes.
rich. That's a rich name, Whittington.
Whittington
I'm one of
right?
I'm one of the
Yeah.
Whittingtons.
Yeah.
Who are
I
you?
wonder if he's wearing his haberdashery.
No, it's a she. It's a she.
Oh, she.
It's a she. Yes.
When the Whittingtons go to the Chinese store, we don't order lo mein.
No, you get hymen?
No, we get top ramen.
Oh.
Okay. And then,
Matt Green.
hi, Matt.
Green,
What's up, Matt?
musician.
Everything brown with Matt Green.
Matt Green. And then we have Rosa Richardson.
Hey, Rosa Richardson, my friend, thank you for checking in on us.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
We have Carlos.
Carlos Riley.
Yes.
What's up, Carlos?
He's a drummer.
Wait, he said, what's up, Tommy? You're on your way to the top.
We can't see that. We can't see this, Gilbert.
He said, let me get that hat.
Okay.
Nah,
He-
this my
he always-
signature,
he
Carlos.
always wants
You
your
know,
hat.
I'll get you a hat. We gonna go to the hat store together.
Carlos
Okay?
is one of our
Me and you.
DJs. Carlos is one of our DJs. He's a drummer, you know.
Yeah.
He played with.
I heard he's a talented bass player.
No, he's a drummer.
Drummer?
Drummer.
He don't play bass
Nope.
at all.
At all.
Never put his hand on the bass.
No.
He just drum.
Drums.
Just beat on it
Drums.
all day long.
Where we going with this?
We're going to start a joke. And then you have Shirley Carter.
Hey, Shirley. What's up?
Shirley.
Shirley.
And then you have Patricia Wardrow.
Wardlaw.
Wardlaw.
Pat.
Oh, that's
Pat.
Pat.
Yeah.
That's Pat.
Oh, coming under another name.
Yeah. And that's Pat Atkins. Oh, thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Denise.
you, Patricia.
Thank you,
And Denise. What would we be without
Denise,
y'all?
Thank you so much. And then Winnington Still said we met at the Men in the Kitchen restaurant, and she was singing.
Really? Oh, I think I do remember her.
See?
She's slim, light skinned?
Yes.
Yes, I do remember her. She was awesome.
Yes, that's her.
Yes.
Okay.
That's crazy. That was years ago.
Gilbert, is there any more in that?
Where'd you stop at?
I stopped at
Patricia
Winnington.
Atkins?
No, Winnington.
Whittington was the last one. He
Right.
said we met.
No, it's a she, Gilbert.
Ooh.
You got one
She.
more he.
Come on, come
Okay,
on.
one more here,
Let's
okay.
get this together. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to shut up now.
You okay? Now, let's talk again. What do you think is some of the most difficult things in being a comedian?
Hecklers,
Okay.
joke jackers,
Okay.
janky promoters.
So how do you deal with those heckles?
Damn.
See,
Well,
you didn't
okay.
know it was that much
Okay,
to
so
it.
let's say, how do you deal with those hecklers?
A great guy who taught me most of what I know about comedy, his name is James Talent Harris. Extremely funny dude. I owe a lot of my career to this dude. A lot of my career. He put me on,
Talent is talent.
he's considered the king, and his title is the King of New York.
Right.
Okay.
We host a monthly show at the
It's strictly
Stress
comedy.
Factory. Yeah, it's just
Strictly
comedy. One of the most talented comedians I've ever met in my life. We did 3.5 years of radio together, and every morning we started at 5 o'clock. By 6:30, I had tears running down my face. Every morning, not some morning. He would take jokes out of the air, and he kind of gave me my freedom. You know, like
He always had his glass.
that bottle of Heineken.
Mm-hmm.
But he would come in and he would just take anything and make it funny. You know, like whatever happened in the room, he would make it funny, and it gave me my freedom of, like, we all think things, you know, but do you express them?
You don't all say it.
Right.
Yeah.
He gave me the freedom to say it. Like, I'll see it, and I won't be afraid on stage to say it. Like, we had a numerologist on the. She would come once a week. Her name was Rose, and she was from, you know, the UK or whatever. And she would come in and she would talk like this, and you know, every week I would think in my head, maybe one week I could come in as if I was Rose and talk like her and see if I could get away with being Rose.
Okay.
And one week, I don't know what happened, but she got in an argument and she left. She just abruptly left. And they was like, well, Tommy, here's your chance. Come in and be Rose. You know, we on the radio. Nobody will know.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So what was crazy
That's
was
cool.
I went on and I started talking like her. We got a real person. We didn't tell her it was Tommy playing around. We made like it was really Rose. So, you know, I'm doing Rose. No, what is your name? And she said whatever her name was. And I'm picking up.
Okay.
I'm picking up a vibration that your holidays have a lot to be desired. She's like, yes, that's right. Your gifts aren't pleasant. How did you know? I never get good gifts. And I was right, like in 90% of what I predicted for her.
Great.
And the last thing, I think I broke down laughing, and she's like, what's going on? And it's like, this is really Tommy Too Smoov. This isn't Rose.
Oh, isn't that something?
And they put it on as a prank call. But, you know, he gave me that freedom to be that free. Like, now when I go on stage, I don't think about what I'm going to say anymore. Whatever comes, it comes. I have jokes to back it up if it's not funny.
Right.
Okay.
But, you know, comedians should work on being a comedian as opposed to being a comic. There's a difference between
what's
a
the
comic
difference?
and a comedian. Like, you've seen people get on stage, and every time you saw them, they told the same exact jokes the same exact way.
They told
It's
jokes. Period.
It's an act.
Yeah.
A comedian will get on it and just be funny.
Chappelle.
They'll use impressions and voices. They may rap,
Okay, I
sing.
can understand that.
So a comic has an act. A comedian is just plain out funny.
Okay. Okay. But one thing, I want to just ask him one thing. The hecklers, how do you handle that?
Oh, that's what I was
That's
going to
what I
say.
want-
Talent, he taught me. He said, it's 3 ways to handle a heckler. Go under him, over him, or straight at him. I said, what do you mean? He said, the way you go under him is to act like you didn't even hear him.
Okay.
Just keep on with your
Okay.
act.
Okay.
Don't give them the power. To go over them is to kind of like threaten them, threaten them out of it. Like, look, I've been doing comedy for 26 years. I've accumulated a lot of snaps that could destroy. It'll hurt your feelings really bad. You don't want me to do this.
Don't
So
believe.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to settle
up.
down and be quiet. And I'm going to finish my act because I don't want to make you the act.
Oh, okay.
You know, I want to keep on with my jokes. So, you know. Or, of course, you come right at them. Tear them down. Rank them. Go right through them.
Okay.
And that's what he taught me. It's 3 ways to handle it. Under, over, or straight at them. And you can always tell who not to and who to get at. Because, you know, some guys...
Wait for you after the club's closed.
No, what?
What you got to say now, funny man? Give me the gun.
So that's the 3 ways to handling it.
Okay.
There was a comedy club down 4th in South, was
Is
it?
that where you're going now? Is that?
No.
You remember?
Yeah, that's the Laugh
Laugh
House.
House, right?
Yeah, the Laugh House.
Oh, okay.
back then when I went, 2A was the topic then. Is he still doing?
Yeah, he's at Warm Daddies every Wednesday.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in fact, that show is with him at
that's the
this one right here at Punchlines.
Punchline. Okay.
Yeah, we'll be there
Were
February
you performing
23rd.
then, back then?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay. And
You may not have recognized me because I may have had on a costume.
a costume.
Yes, I do characters.
That's right. Right.
I have a gang of characters. I stopped counting at 21. But, I would dress up totally as a character and go on stage and, just be that person doing stand-up. Like, I meet people that I feel like should be doing stand-up. When I met Feliciano, the real guy, when I met him in the Poconos, he was just so smooth, and it wasn't even an arrogance about him. It was just a total confidence. This is how smooth this guy was. This guy, he was a waiter. He would walk up to the table, no paper, no pen. He would just walk up to the table and look around the table, and one hand behind his back, and the other had the towel.
Right.
I'm looking at the beautiful family as you sit before me. I look at you, the man of the table, and I say to myself, this man, he's a meat-eating man. He would like prime rib, probably medium rare. And the wife, such a beautiful mother, so nurturing, I can tell by the children. For you, I would recommend the fillet of flounder with the stuffing and the butter sauce. And for the children, what say you, fried chicken? By the time he finished with them, he ordered their whole meal.
Yes.
And they were so
Grateful.
mesmerized. They would just agree to anything. And might I add lemon meringue pie? Yes. And maybe a strawberry. Yes. Whatever you say, sir. Would you like my wife? Here, take her. The guy was just smooth, and I always felt like being a waiter, I'm not going to say it was beneath him, but I just saw so much more for this guy. He was just like, he could have easily been Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island. Easily. He was just so smooth. So these people I see, and I'm like, this guy, if he did stand up, what would he do?
Yeah.
What would he talk about? What would be his subject matter?
Yeah.
Hassan et al. Is a guy I met. He was a cab driver. That wasn't his name. I named him that.
Okay.
And but he was a cab driver, and his whole thing was, he wanted to know what this hippity hoppity was. He heard the music, and it was like, what is this? The hip and the hop. Why is the hopping of? Why is it so hip to hop? I am not understanding. And I said, okay, if he was doing stand up, what would he talk about? And I made up this whole story about how his father was a snake charmer, but he was terrible at snake charming, and he met this one feisty snake that ended his career.
Okay.
Like James Drunk Patterson is a friend of my mother's.
James Drunk Patterson?
James Drunk Patterson.
Is that the guy that was you with
Yeah.
one of the characters that was up? Okay, all right.
There's plenty of them. I have a baby named Big Baby Boo. His mother gave birth to him at 75, and he was born 27.
I bet you that was funny.
He still has the mentality of a baby, but he knows like 27-year-old things. And he's got questions, Why, when I breastfeed, does my mother taste like deodorant?
Oh, Tommy.
Okay.
But it's I just like and then after when I ran out of people, I kind of would look at groups of people and think, how could I entertain these people? Like, you know, if I went into one day, a guy named Ronnie Long called me, old school comedian, great comedian, funny. He called me. This is in like the mid '90s, and he's like, "We got a club for you to do." Now, up until this point, I think the most I had ever seen for one show was like maybe $400 or $500. You know, this was like 96, 90, 95, 96. He calls me, "We got this club for you. We want you to do. Name your price." I'm like, "What do you mean, name my price?" He's like, "Name your price. What do you want to do this club?" So, you know.
You named your price.
I named my price. I said 800 because to me, you know, that was, you know, a lot of money to do what they was asking me to do. So he's like, "Okay." And he said okay so fast, I felt like, oh, I could have asked for more. So he's like, "All right, where you at?" And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get down there. So no, we'll come pick you up. I said, "Y'all come give me a ride for $1,000 and a ride to the club?" Now, I'm joking. But he's like, "Okay." I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So they come pick me up. They knock on the door. I was living down the bottom at the time. I had a whole studio down there. I was writing music or whatever. And they came and picked me up. And they was like, "Okay, you ready?" And I'm like, "All right, but, you know, I need $1,200 now." They're like, "All right." I'm like,
What?
"Wait a minute. I'm not getting in this car.
Yeah.
What's the most I can make tonight?" And we said, "Name your price." I said, "All right, $1,500. They said, "Come on, let's go." Where are y'all? What's wrong with this club? What's going on? They like, "Look, you want the $1,500? In fact, we'll even up it. $1,800. What's up?"
Okay.
$1,800. How much time y'all want me to do? All you got to do is stay on stage the whole 20 minutes.
Oh, my
20 minutes.
goodness.
Well, what kind of crowd is this? It's just the regular crowd, men, women. What do you want? I said, "What is it? White people? What's going on?" They said, "No." I said, "What is it? An Apollo crowd? Come on, tell me." No. Do you want it or not? $2,000. What's up? Look, I need the money. Let's go.
Let's go.
So I get in the car. We get down there, and they's like, "Close your eyes." I'm like, "What do you mean close my eyes? I ain't going nowhere closing my eyes." "Look, just close your eyes. Ain't nobody going to put nothing over your eyes. You can open them anytime you want. Just close your eyes." So close my eyes. So, you know, I'm peeking. We pull up on Sampson Street, 13th and Sampson. Right? You see where I'm going with this?
What year?
This was 95, 96. Yeah.
Okay.
So we go into this club called Club Star. So we walk in, you know, I walk in, I see two dudes and they holding hands and I'm like, "What's going on here? Look at these two dudes." So they're like, "Oh, okay. You cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm cool." We walk in a little further, two girls kissing in the corner. I'm like, and now remind you, this is 95, 96. It's not as progressive as it is now. So I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" We walk into the showroom. Every man is with a man. Every woman is with a woman. I'm like, "Is this why y'all told me I can make?" So I'm like, "Oh, snap." So I don't know how to entertain a room full of gay people. I never did this before. So, what do I do for these
You
people?
did it.
What's the difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
First guy goes up there. He's nervous as like crazy. He's fumbling over his words and they booed him off stage. They booed him clean off stage. This guy goes running off stage. Next guy, old head guy, Dick Tracy, Chubby Checker's brother. One of the greatest comedians I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Goes on stage and starts off with, "Me and my lady." Well, y'all don't want to hear about me and my lady. But, you know, we in the room getting it on. Boo. By the third joke, it turned into the Apollo. Boo. And he's like, "Yeah, forget y'all." He gets off stage. So it's one more than me. I
20
can't
minutes
remember.
is getting rough.
I can't remember who it was. Yeah, exactly. Okay, forfeit, right? So the next person goes on stage. They start doing good. And then boom, they fell off. So then it was my turn. I'm backstage, and my cousin's with me, and my cousin's Ted. He's like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I don't know what to do. He's like, I know what you do. Take off your jacket. So I took off my jacket. He took off my shirt. He draped my jacket around me. He said, go out there and be a punk. So I went out there and I did this whole little gay act. I walked out of there with a standing ovation.
Really?
And I got tipped an extra $1,000.
All right now.
Oh my God. Isn't
So-
that
I say that to say is everybody has a way to make every crowd laugh. You have to find it within
You
you.
to do it.
First time I did an all Caucasian room, I was terrified. Come to find out, they found me way more funnier than the brothers did.
great? Oh yeah.
And the brothers loved me. So the white people was like, yo, you are magnificent. So then I went to LA. They wanted me to do Feliciano for a bunch of Mexican gangbangers. I got on, I did that. I was terrified. I got on and did that, and I did so well. And by the time I hit the parking lot, all of them was in the parking lot talking about funk that, funk that. It became their new word, funk that.
Well, that was great. I mean,
So you never
mean,
know who you could, you know, entertain.
Yeah.
You know, and then I met great people like one of my mentors, Herb Wright. That was he still is. That's my main man. You know, I call him and we laugh and laugh and laugh. The thing is he's about 35 years my senior.
okay, okay.
You know, and most of the people I get along with are older than me. So we'll sit there and, like, when I met him, he was a stand-up comedian. And he told me when he saw me, he just wanted to manage me. He wasn't interested in performing no more.
But
You know,
you-
but
you-
we
you-
became great friends.
You know, you do a good job, and you're inspirational to anyone who maybe is thinking about
Become a comedian, right?
becoming a comedian.
Mhm.
You know,
Oh,
and you
wow.
get, you know, you're telling them. I think you're saying just be yourself. Just go out there,
Yes.
entertain, and,
Yes.
and be yourself.
Because it's nothing but a conversation.
Is it hard to get jobs though?
When I
She's
first
over there.
No, not with Rena. I mean, like on
when
the-
I first started,
uh-huh.
it was easier.
It was easier to get jobs then.
It's easier to get jobs because this is pre Kevin Hart.
Mm.
This is pre a lot of stuff. This is pre Kings of Comedy. This is pre Medea. When I started, it was just stand up comedy. And it was you know, I met Martin before he blew up. I met Dave Chappelle before he blew up. You know, it was just stand up comedy. It wasn't everybody and their mother. Like now it's just like everybody and their mother getting on the mic. And you know, I feel like only 1/3 of the people on the mic belong there. You know, when people come to me and say stuff like comedy is hard, it's hard because you don't belong there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a difference between a great personality and a stand-up comedian. Some people are entertaining because of their personality, but they can't tell a joke for nothing.
Right. You said something a little while ago
Yeah.
about jacking.
Joke jacket.
Joke jack.
Yes.
Right. Is that something that occurs all the time, sometimes?
Big problem
Really?
amongst comedians. In fact, it's all over the internet now where Mark Curry accused Steve Harvey of stealing his stuff. And not only did he accuse him of it, but he showed where he said it in a comedy special. And Steve Harvey said the same joke line for line. And this is how I can tell if you stole or not. There's vocal inflections that people use in jokes. And if you listen close enough, they will use the same vocal
yeah.
inflections. Like if I come on and I say, you know, Obama, you know, I can't wait until we see the black in him. You know, because once that black comes out, we know we're going to see a whole nother Obama. Now, if you come on and you say, well, one day, you know, maybe we'll have a black Obama, and he come on. Now, once that black comes out, if you
Yeah.
say it the same way I said it, I know you took it from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I saw the two, I know that Steve Harvey got it from Mark Curry. I know it. I studied comedy. So it's not even on a ground level. It's not even on a freshman level. It's on the top level. It goes all the way up.
Well, sometimes it's often that I do this. Like when I'm out, and I'll look at the crowd of people, okay, when I'm not dancing, okay.
And you do that. You shook your groove thing. When I saw you at the show.
I love to dance. I love it. But I look at the people, right? And I always, I say to Gilbert, now, if Steve Harvey was here to see all these people and what they're doing now, what would he say? You know, I always think of Steve Harvey when I'm in like a crowd of people and they're enjoying themselves, and you know, I said, what would he say? So I can kind of visualize looking at a situation and creating comedy from that situation.
Okay.
I know he could come in there, or you probably can come and look at the crowd of people and just tell jokes all night, just because of the people. I mean, based on the people that's in the club.
Well, you know what it is? You're a musician, right? You play what instrument?
Piano.
Piano. Sometimes when you're on the piano, you're not playing. Your fingers are moving, but you're not sitting there saying, I'm going to play these notes. They just start playing themselves, and they go off into their own thing.
Yep.
And you don't know where that came from.
No.
It's the same thing with comedy.
Yeah.
If you open your soul up enough for the universe to slide through it, you know what I'm saying? The flow will take you places you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to be you.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
Because sometimes I'm on that piano and I hear all these melodies in my head, okay? And I have to try to find the melodies. It's taking me, you know, all over trying to find the melodies. But that's me, because I want to hear certain kind of things that I want to hear. So it's taking me all over. You know?
Now, in your case, what's happening is you're playing, but not with your fingers. Your mind is playing.
You're right.
Yep.
Right.
And your mind is saying, tell your fingers to copy off of what I'm showing you.
You're right.
And you didn't think about it. You didn't say, I want to write these notes, or I want it to progress this way. You know what I mean? Or crescendo or whatever this way.
Yeah.
I just want to hear some music.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And the universe takes it and rides that out.
But that's some great stuff, though. That's really great how you can do so many things. You know, a person can do. There's no such thing as you can't. You can do it. And God gives us special gifts, okay? And I feel that if we utilize these gifts, it's no stopping us. And that song, ain't no stopping us now. We got to utilize the gifts that God gives us. You know? So that's great. And I enjoyed your act. And I want to go back over here. And I can't get these people, but I want to say something to these people here. I mean, all the guys that's on here for a minute.
Where'd you stop?
I stopped at Carlos, I think. It was Carlos? Can you give me a couple more? Because this
Carlos Riley.
Douglas Payne.
Douglas Payne.
Hello.
From Phase 5 Records.
Phase 5 Records.
Yes.
All right.
That's Douglas from Phase 5 Records?
Yes.
That's him. That's him.
That's him. That's
Wow.
And then Shirley J. Carter. She
Hi,
says,
Shirley.
hello from Search of Missing Persons. With
Yes,
Shirley
yes.
J. Carter.
You're
TV
doing a
show.
great job, Shirley. You're doing a great job.
Go ahead, Shirley.
Yes, you're doing a
You
great
are the
job.
best, Shirley.
She finds missing people?
Yes. Yes.
Shirley, I got a twin brother I'm looking for. When you see somebody look as good as me, call me, Shirley.
Shirley, call me.
She does a good job.
You have Kimmy, let me see, what is it? Murchison. Kimmy Murchison Smith. Hi, Tommy.
Hey, Kimmy, with your cute self. Kimmy just as cute as she want to be. You can't help but blush when Kimmy walk in the room. One time, Kimmy walked outside, the moon blushed. It's just moon blush all over Atlanta.
Diana Harrell. I'm enjoying this interview and cracking up over the real life stories.
Yes.
Love and peace.
Yes, love and
We
peace.
love you too, and thank you for watching.
Michelle Gold.
Hi, Michelle.
Michelle just as precious as gold.
Michelle's my cousin. Thanks, Michelle, for joining it. I have to think, but
She precious as gold. Have you had her oatmeal?
Oatmeal?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Michelle, she will make a bowl of oatmeal, make your toes curl up and scratch your ankles. She is awesome.
Okay, Michelle, I'm looking forward to that oatmeal.
You taste her oatmeal.
Of course, Carlos got to go here. Ask Tommy, does he know my other brother named White Cloud from 39th and Aspen?
No,
Back in the
39th
day.
in Aspen.
Back in the day.
Did he
That's-
sell
that's
nickel
right.
bags or dime bags?
He didn't go into that, man. Okay.
If his name White Cloud, he had either nickel bags or dime bags.
Okay.
All right. That's about it.
That's about it?
Right.
Okay.
Kimmy says everything's all right. What's up?
Well, we talked about, let's talk about social media.
Okay.
And are your videos on social media? Are they on, we talked about YouTube and you said you used,
It was. I didn't put them up there.
yeah.
Most
you
of my
said
stuff on YouTube, somebody else put up there. Like people will come to the show and film you and put them on.
Oh, I got you.
You know, and without your permission. And I can't stand that because sometimes you say things you don't want the whole world. You just want that room to know. You don't want.
Yeah.
And one of my most viewed videos is of me going in on this dude, on this lady and this dude at this show.
Heckler.
This lady got upset because I called her, what did I call her? Auntie. Is that derogatory?
No, auntie.
Auntie. And she just went in and wouldn't let it go. And, you know, I had to lay that argument to rest. And then the guy that I brought with me, he was making noise and running around and talking to people. And I'm just like, yo.
Oh, wow.
But it's one of my most viewed videos. And I don't know for what, but people are like, yo, you went in on them. You know, people love to see that.
Yeah, they love to see that kind of stuff.
But for the most part, the stuff that's on there, I didn't put it on there.
Okay. Okay.
There's people coming to the shows and filming.
But they can go on social media and find your videos.
I have
mean,
a lot
how
of
do we
stuff on
find-
Vimeo.
Okay.
Vimeo. If you Google Tommy Tommy 2 Too Smoov Smoov, a lot of stuff will come up, and you know you can Google video. You know how you hit images or video, hit video and watch the videos that come up.
Okay, and they will come up.
Right.
Where did Smoov come from?
Remember I was
Without
talking
the
about
E,
that guy,
without the
Dick
TA.
Tracy,
Yeah.
Chubby Checker's brother.
Okay.
When you come in, when you fresh on the scene, there's one comedian that will take to you. You know, whether you bad or good or whatever, you kind of find, you know, your group that you belong in. It's kind of like playing basketball, whatever. And he was the first guy, like I said, most of the people I roll with is a little more mature than me. And he was a little more mature than me, but he took to me. And the third time I was going on stage, he's like, this guy is laid back. You know, he's the smoothest guy I ever saw. When he's on stage, he's a ball of fire. He's just too smooth when he's not off stage. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Tommy Too Smoov. And this was like my third show doing comedy. And people just started using that.
It's stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. There's no more Tommy McMillan. It's now Tommy
Okay.
Too
Tommy Too
Smoov.
Smooth.
Right.
Who's McMillan?
That's
For
me.
real.
That's me. That's me. That's my dad's last
Who
name.
is Tommy McMillan?
I'm a workworkaholic. That's what I am.
Well, let's
There you
shake
go.
hands because so am I.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so we
Rena,
can.
I
we
can
can
attest
discuss
to
that.
that. She's a workaholic and I do the work.
I'm a workaholic.
But my thing was, somebody told me that after you get out of high school, you find a level that you can get comfortable on, and you just stay there. So my thing became, let me learn something new every year,
Okay.
so I can keep learning and keep advancing. So everybody's like, well, you think you know everything. No, I took the time to learn it.
Yeah.
So to date, my titles are artist, animator, editor. I beat programmer. I play the piano. I write songs. I rap. You know, I sing. I know how to use a camera. I do motion graphics.
Oh, goodness.
I know
That's
how to
great.
direct. So every year I would
You
teach
learn
myself something new.
Okay. All right.
So it is
Well-
all about comedy.
Nah.
Well,
Comedy is just the friend of
That's
mine.
what he enjoys. That's what he enjoys.
I see y'all keep trying to pin it on me, and comedy just kind of happened to me. Out of all of the things
Yeah, but
that
you
I do,
enjoy it, right?
I do. I love it so much, but
He calls
it's
it
not
the
like
universe.
it's not like I set out to become a comedian.
No,
I never
understand
said
that, yeah.
I want to be a comedian.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just kind of happened,
It fell in your hands, but maybe that's that's your gift,
right.
you know.
God's gift. or
But
the
let me
universe.
ask you, because time's going. But how long, or do you prepare for each show?
Not anymore.
Okay, so you just go out on stage.
No.
No, what do
You're
you-
right. You're right. I go and I sit amongst the people, or I stand amongst the people, right?
See who's who.
Not just who's who, but I am a very spiritual person, and if you stand in a room, don't make any noise. Just stand in a room. Go to a mall. Stand in the mall, and there's a common energy flowing through that mall. And if you stand still enough, you can feel that energy, and you can address everybody according to that energy.
Security. Now what?
So it's the same with the comedy. If you go in a room, like you've been in a walked into a room and felt like something was wrong.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
utilizing that same rule, go into a comedy club, don't say nothing, and just feel the common mood of the room.
Yeah.
You know, you can have, a variety of people, but they all have a common something. It may be anticipation of what they're about to see. It may be the effect of something that's just happened nationally,
Yeah.
or just, something in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, say, the whole Trump thing
Yeah.
with him being acquitted. Some people may be upset, people may be happy, but that's the elephant in the room. And if you can go in the room and feel that, you can address it, and now you have everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
It may be in a church,
Yeah.
it may be religious. You may be addressing all women who have kids,
Yeah.
but you have to go into that room and allow yourself to feel
I can
that
understand
energy
that.
in the room.
Well, Tommy, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I really enjoyed it, and I wish you a lot of success.
Thank you.
And one thing we do need is to keep on laughing.
Yes.
Because it's just so much stuff going on nowadays that we don't laugh enough.
No, not at all.
And we need to really laugh, and enjoy.
I saw something on
Yeah.
Instagram today. This woman said, I'm through with 2020 already. Already there's been earthquakes in Puerto Rico, Mexico. Kobe Bryant is gone.
Yeah.
Trump. She's like, I'm done. I had enough of
Yeah.
2020 already.
Yeah.
And all I saw was material, material. You know what I mean?
But next week we have a group called True, TRU.
All right.
And True is an R&B group from Camden, New Jersey. And they have a new single out.
True.
Jimmy, they have a new single out called Love Tonight.
True.
And they'll be on the show next Thursday. I think that's the 20th. Right?
All right.
And they can really, really sing. So we're going to welcome to the show. And we're going to give Tommy another round hand of applause for his appearance on the
Give me a
Dog
round
Podcast
hand of applause.
Thank
I don't
you.
want no square hand of applause. I need round hand of applause.
Thank you. And thank
Tommy,
you for joining
Tommy,
us.
One more time.
What's
So
that?
where you going?
Oh, I'm going to be at Punchlines Comedy Club February 23rd with the King of Philly, my man 2 Ray Gordon. And if y'all don't remember Willie Robo, he going to be in the house. Don't miss it. Also, in 2 days, I'm going to be at 4th and Lombard. Come February 15th. If you love somebody, give them the gift of laughter.
Yes,
You can skip over the flowers. Just come and see us. 4th and Lombard. Right there on the corner. Me, Josh, Pretty Smiles, Chanel Renee, two Stacks,
Renee.
Miss Cash, Lefty, The girl that served the drinks. We're going to have a buffet. It's going to be a cat outside meowing. You wait till you hear him meow. Y'all going to love it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tommy.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we
you.
are.